going into Mount Horeb now. This is right after Messerschmidt. You get to the bottom of the hill, you take a right, and the rest, this section I'll talk about is the climb into Mount Horeb. And this is one of those highways where not a ton of traffic out here either, but it's kind of that arrow situation again, where you can be an arrow. There's these rollers, and you just you want to be ready for it. It's a spot where you think you can make up some time again, but I mean, there's opportunities again on the backside of some of these slow, long climbs like this one, this is kind of flat, I think, here, but still, but it's got a little bit of a pitch, and you know, just be under control here, because it's just so tempting after you get off of some of these side roads with all these rolling hills or these steeper climbs and narrow roads and speed and everything. Now you're back kind of to normal cycling, you know, like most of us would do on the weekend. It's just kind of out riding on the road, and you want to make it up time, but, like, you know, again, you know, you just won't want to push it too hard, I think, you know, until you see, and I'll show you a couple of things up here where
how you like it so far?
Oh, it's beautiful.
There's definitely some
the roads are in pretty nice condition, huh?
downhill.
Yeah, they've been working on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
She just said the roads are in good condition. She's from, well, Arizona, but now California originally, so
kind of
yeah, the roads aren't as bad. Actually, ironically, this road is about to start getting as bad as it gets. Once we kind of get closer to Verona, Mount Horeb, and in Mount Horeb, I don't quite understand it. That road has been like that for, well, I've been coming to and doing or spectating Ironman Wisconsin since 2013. That's 10 years. And I feel like this road has not been repaired at all. And not this one, but the one that goes into Mount Horeb and through Mount Horeb. Definitely the worst section, I think, for roads. And
car back.
I think they need to start getting on it a little bit. Again, this is just kind of like standard fare riding right here. Nothing fancy, just kind of out on your highway on your Saturday ride. We had some rain and there's some gravel creeping in, but that should not be there on race day. Again, it's hard to kind of convey and see, but like this here is a little bit of an uphill. But you know, when you go around these corners, sometimes there's that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes there's that opportunity for some speed. Other times you might turn a corner and have to go up a hill, but just be aware of it. Like kind of those situations when you see a corner sign like this, and you can kind of look out to your right here and see, this looks like it's going to be downhill for a while, or a little bit of a opportunity right here to maybe get on it a little bit. And then, of course, you get further up here. But see, you can kind of get some good speed here for a while. Just be kind of looking in the horizon for those opportunities. That's one of the things I like to say about this course. And now this is the opposite of that, where you go around this. Well, actually, no, it isn't. You go up this. This is a hill right here, a climb into this corner. And I believe there's another spot for it right here after you're done to get on it a little bit. And then after that, yeah, you got to get up this thing. Now, if you do get stuck in your big ring, just really kind of be patient with it and spin as in control as possible. And now we got another downhill. So when I say this isn't downhill, but it's a good grade to really get a little bit of extra speed here. control your watts on the uphill and try to get a little more aggressive with them on these nice graded downhills. I don't push and hammer here, but I definitely try to get going a little faster so I can take advantage of it. And then, you know, I'm pedaling probably here, but I'm not slamming it. Like I said, this is pretty run-of-the-mill highway riding, but to me it's kind of an opportunity to maybe, you know, I don't know, at least for me on the race day, this Highway G and this section are both about 4 or 5 miles of kind of regular road riding, and these, for some reason, these are the parts that I really don't like. I don't know. It's just kind of boring, and there's more than this. I mean, like the stick has some sections like this, and but let me tell you, you know, I rode this the other day. I think on one loop, the elevation was something like 2,700. 25 to 3,000 variations, and so that's 2 loops is between 5,500 and 6,000. Just so that's just on the loop section, and with those changes they've made in the stick, I don't know. It used to be kind of get away from the helix and go behind the convention center, and then you had sort of a downhill, and then you turned right, and it was pretty fast into Verona. But now they added a pretty substantial climb in a different route, which really kind of sucked the air out of me last year because I didn't know it was there anymore. Or after doing it so many times before, they changed that, and the stick in its own right is kind of a bear coming back always, and now going out it's kind of sucks too. So you end up on Whalen Road somehow again, but there's before Whalen there's like a shitty section that they put in for some reason, and so you're talking 7,000 feet on this course, I'm guessing, and we're still climbing into Mount Horeb here, and this is kind of a subtle climb most of the way. There's some ups and downs, but I think for the most part it's even getting to the last climb, which is coming up maybe in a mile, I think. It's a gradual uphill. Nothing crazy, but just don't get sucked into thinking that you can hammer this section. There's a bunch of gravel again, washed on the road. And there'll be some gravel sections I'll show you too as we go, but the thing about gravel is you just, you know, I don't know if this is because I mountain biked a lot, is whatever, you just can't like try to do anything in gravel. You just go through it straight. Not, it's almost like a railroad track on an angle. You kind of got to go perpendicular to the whole situation, because if you're trying to turn in it, and you'll see some gravel up on a couple of these faster downhills. And my suggestion is always just don't brake or don't turn at that point. Go straight through it and then turn. Make sure you're, you know, if you see gravel, just kind of pick the best lane you can find and then go through it. You know, in mountain biking, we had no idea sometimes going down some of these hills. You just had to kind of trust the process and let go. Just don't make a sharp turn on gravel. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, okay, so we're still going into Mount Horeb, and as I said, this section is probably my least favorite section of the course, getting up to the top of the hill in Mount Horeb and then getting through the city. But after that is when the fun starts. Usually from Verona to the quick trip, the roundabout in Mount Horeb is about 14 miles or something like that. And then after that, you have the last 25 miles on the loop, which are really something enjoyable. This is still probably my favorite course. I mean, I'm talking about just anywhere. It's a fun ride, but this little part can kind of get on your nerves. So I'm talking about breaking it up in sections. I got you through Messerschmidt from Verona, and now we're going into Mount Horeb. And then after that is, I would say probably my favorite section. We get on to Whitty Road, which is absolutely probably the most beautiful section, with 3 or 4 fast rollers or descents and little climbs with the fast stuff after it, and then you turn into Garfoot. And Garfoot is easily my favorite downhill section. It's kind of a double S curve around, and I'll explain to you why that section's so important when we get there. But yeah, we're going up a hill a little bit here. Nothing crazy, but by now you're kind of going, where the hell is Mount Horeb? You're just ready for the hill. You're ready to get through that town and get into the course. There's Angela.
Good
Tell her
job.
about the climb here.
Some gears work, some don't seem to work so good.
Okay. Well, make it work. Ready?
Oh yeah, they can be riding the harder gear.
Good. Well, we got a nice long climb coming up.
Oh great.
Yeah. She's excited about the
What?
climb,
Yeah, good.
as I am. This could,
Yeah.
you know, they talk about the 3 sisters,
Happy
and
Valley, baby.
that's one thing that took me a long time to realize. With all 3 sisters are at the end of the loop, and they're pretty packed close together. But if you wanted to add one
What?
to this, to the 3 sisters to make it 4,
Everybody's all right. I went back there.
this probably would be it, I would say. It's not terrible, but it's a long climb into the Mount Horeb. And Jesus, where the hell is it? I think it's around this corner we really start going into it. But nonetheless, I'm not enjoying this part. So I just say that because it's, for me, it's like a mental thing, knowing that once I get through this and up this hill, then the course, while it doesn't necessarily get easier, it gets more enjoyable to me. Although I will point out, soon after we get here to the top, my second least favorite, I would call it my most annoying section. It's about maybe 2 miles, and it kind of like just drops itself right in the middle of this loop, and for whatever reason, it just becomes a pain in the ass. So here's the hill right ahead, and it doesn't look like much, but as we get into it, you'll see that it kind of goes, and it's really starting right now. And for me, I'm pretty sure this is a small ring right here. And you just got to kind of be patient and spin up this thing, because you're going to watch your speed go down and down and down. And like I said, you can climb up it with a little more. It's not terrible, but it's just not worth it. I wish I could remember what I usually mile an hour I climb this thing at, but I'm guessing 9 or 8 or 9 or something like that. So there's usually a lot of people. Oh, that's the thing I haven't really been talking about, is there's usually a lot of people out here cheering you on to get to the top of this. And feel like there's a little reprieve here at some point, and then a final like little hill. So sometimes you can kind of, I don't know, maybe it's not a reprieve. But this road's okay, but once you kind of get around this corner up here and by the high school, forget about it. Really kind of be light on your handlebars up here, because it's you go into the city of Mount Horeb where you hit this quick trip. There's a roundabout that we take, and unfortunately I don't think I have the roundabout on video, but you just kind of stay to the right and go straight through it and come out the other side. It would be the second exit on your roundabout. But yeah, I think this is maybe a little reprieve right here, and then there's a final climb around. So you can see it's quite a long climb. It's not St. George or Placid or any of that stuff, but you got to be real patient with it. My college buddies, Petey Schultz from Mount Horeb. I always ask people if they know him, and nobody does here. But there's usually a lot of people lining this course right here. And there you can kind of see the roads doing their thing right here. It looks like they've really tried, you know, to patch them up. But like I said, this has been like this at least 10 years. And it's not a big deal when you're going up like this, but when you turn this corner up by the high school, then you're going to start pounding a little bit. So this is what I'm saying, is just be on your, you know, keep your eyes on the road and just beware of hitting big potholes. It's not big potholes, but you know what I mean. So still climbing. And right about up here by the yellow sign, it kind of flattens out, and then it starts going down a little bit, and we'll take a right around where the high school is, and there'll be an aid station normally up here for you. But here come the roads. You can see some holes in the roads, and it's just a little bumpy. Some of them can't really avoid. You just got to be light. Don't be slamming down into any of those potholes. Yep. And the aid station will be right up here on the right, I believe. And we're going to go to the quick trip here, but I'm actually going to start the video back up as we get to this corner. So I think this is kind of a little bit of a climb here, and then you have a little fast section in here, and this one, again, with the roads being so jacked up, kind of speeds down a little bit of a hill right here. Hit some bumps. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to blacktop this road. Kind of cruise through here. The roundabout is straight ahead. Your quick trip is on your left if you ever need to stop. I'm pulling into the quick trip now. And when we come back, we'll get to the best part of the course.